Hello and welcome. This is a video introducing you to the module that you're going to do and lots of other modules during the course of reading and working with this book. This is how to create easy wedding bouquets, and I'm not only the author of this book, I'm author of many books. But before I get into this, I want to talk to you a little bit about my background, so you know that where I'm coming from is genuine, and I write these books with lots and lots of love because I want people to build life skills, and if they're able to turn a hobby into an income, receiving an income, being paid for what you do, then I have met my goal. So first of all, I left school at 15 and went straight into working and training as a florist in London. And I trained for 5 years, and I have to say it wasn't an easy training with the cold weather in London. Many winters we'd go into the shop in the morning and the flowers would be frozen in their vases. We used to use a thing called moss, sphagnum moss, which thankfully is coming back into the industry, and often that sphagnum moss would have shards of ice through it. So while I was training, my parents and my family came to Australia to live, and once I'd finished my training, I then joined them out here in Australia where I'm still living. So during that time of living in Australia, I first of all worked in Sydney at a florist shop, which was nice. I managed that shop. And then I moved to Canberra, which is the national capital, where eventually my partner and I had 2 florist shops. And I ran private lessons, and then I also run the 2 flower shops or florists. And they were very, very busy. We had up to 15 staff on, so there was a lot of management going on of staff. We became the florist for Parliament House in Canberra. We worked at many big venues which are in Canberra because it is the national capital. And because I knew of the lack of trained staff, and it was really, really hard to get trained staff, so I started lobbying the technical college to run a commercial floristry course. Eventually, after many years, 3 years, and over that time I worked as the chairperson of the Curriculum Advisory Committee, so we were developing curriculum. And not only was I working and working at the college, but I was also going to university because I had wanted to learn more. But prior to going to university, I worked for the Prime Minister once the businesses were sold, because they were such big businesses and it's just so busy. Eventually, we did sell them. And then I went to work for the Prime Minister of Australia at the Prime Minister's Lodge as their florist. And I created flowers for the Queen Elizabeth II's visit. And over time, and after the birth of my second baby, I then went on to university where I studied to become a teacher. And now my major area of teaching and education was psychology. And the thing that sent me on to university was the question, why do people buy flowers? And I had a research paper published, and it was very great to have this, but it was all about why do people buy flowers? And people buy flowers because they're in an emotional situation. So what you're going to be learning is about wedding bouquets. And so this is a combination of nearly 40 years of work and getting to these finite points of the industry. And look, I write books on floristry, I write books on stress. So floristry is just one of those loves that you have, and it never really leaves you. You get frustrated and you get cranky and cross with it. But it never really leaves you, your personality. So I'm now, after 23 years, and within that 23 years of writing and developing books and so on, I'm now, once a book is written, and I will say that I am CEO of How To Books and Full Potential Training. I say we, and that's together with a graphic designer and other people that work with me. We then develop training programs. So the course you're going to do is actually part of our training program list, if you like, because learning to create wedding bouquets, yes, you can love the hobby, but you also need to keep in mind your time. And so many times we love a hobby, we're so keen to do things for people, we forget about payment. And I'm going to say, if you're going to do this course, you need to think about the time you spend on not only creating a wedding bouquet or a bridal package, but you need to think about the time you take in ordering the flowers, in getting in your stock, such as your wires, your tape, and all the other bits that need to go with this. And then the time it takes you to actually create this product. And it does, once you have cash for a product, it becomes a commodity. You're selling something, but you must charge for that time. And so many times I've walked away from doing something lovely that I've loved, and I think, well, was that really worth my time when I could spend my time doing something else? So I don't really want you to experience that. Always be right up front, work out your price. If you get a client, go back to your client with your price. If that's your fair price, then they can either take it or leave it. But please don't give your love away. And so we've got a lot to do in this course. So this is only the first module. But what I want you to do is really enjoy it. Really enjoy the learning, because it's a new beginning. And every book I write and research, it's a new beginning. Even getting this book into this course is now a new beginning. So we're going to do that together, and I want you to enjoy it. Okay, many thanks for looking at this video.